I'd like to welcome you to my world at Camper Hollow. I'm Steve Caswell, and I want to thank you for coming. The first video that I did was a series of photos with some text rolling across the screen, and after watching it myself, I thought that can get to be hard on the eyes, so I thought, well, we'll do another one and add some audio. I did this for now until I get back down to the land and take the video camera and do more of that. In the past, I've mainly simply taken photos, and I got to the point where I thought, why not do some videos and share this with people? There's a lot of different things that I do that I've just learned, over the years by doing this, that makes it, comfortable and enjoyable. Many people think, camping in a tent is kind of like roughing it, but I'm going to take that rough edge off and show you some things that are nice. And the older tents are gone now because they've just simply worn out. I've got some newer ones we're going to see in the upcoming videos, so I hope you'll come back often and see what I have coming. One of the easiest ways to have light outside at night in an off-grid situation is with Tiki torches. And you can have several of these, and they don't use an awful lot of fuel. I mean, I wouldn't run them all night. You will be using quite a bit, but I use Tiki torches, and I space them, every maybe 12-14 feet apart, and with several of these, they're not very costly. I have maybe a dozen of them, I'm guessing right offhand, and I just set these up around, and people that have come over, they look down through the woods, they said it looks like a little city in there, just because of the effects that the Tiki torch gives. And with that and the campfire going, you're pretty well lit up. They don't need to be very bright, but if you have several of them, like I say, placed, every so many feet apart, it really gives you plenty of light, and it's cost effective. Very nice situation, very relaxing environment, and very safe. Many of the photos are self-explanatory, so I'm not going to hit on every detail in this video right now. Once I get back down to Camper Hollow and get set up, I'll make some videos that go through a little more of the details as I set up. But for now, I want to hit some of the highlights, and one of the things I do is I've joined as many as 3 tents. I'll do a sleep tent with it's a cabin tent, usually a sleep tent, the shower tent, and a screen tent, and put a 40-foot tarp over everything. And it makes kind of a small house, and it's roomy enough for 3-4 people to live in there and to cook. I always recommend ventilation. Keep one end of your tent well open, and if you've got a long one, even 2 ends of it, so you get a little bit of air movement, even in the winter. Especially in the winter, if you're running heat in there, plenty of ventilation. On the small tent, winter tent, I keep the door entirely open with the screen closed. One of the things I love to do is fish, and I sold the canoe because I want to get a fishing kayak. You'll see the dog that I had in many of these pictures. He's a golden retriever, beautiful dog, and but through the events of this economy, I was forced to put my home up for sale and rent a small apartment. And so I got rid of the dog. I was able to keep the cat, so she's still here. And but I get out on the swamp here and into the clearer areas of the water, and I catch black bass out there. And many times I'll be out there a good portion of the day, all afternoon, come back in with a nice tan. And I've got some pictures in there that I've shared with some of the fish that I've caught. Depending on the time of the year, you can get different size fish and stuff in there, but the fishing kayak is going to be ideal for me. And a little smaller than this because I don't have the dog. I used to take him out there with me, and he'd just lay in there and just love it. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll come back and watch more as I add more and do more. And it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of different setups that I do depending on the time of year, and I want to share some of these things so you can enjoy your camping experience also. I was very encouraged early in my years of camping. One guy used to tell me, he said, I don't usually like camping, he says, but I like it when you come down. And I guess I just give everybody that little edge that helps them realize what they can do with a tent, and It's just mainly probably because, that's mostly what I've had. I had a travel trailer for a while, and when I got rid of that, I loved camping so much that I said, well, I'm gonna go back to a tent. And it can be very comfortable. Granted, travel trailer is easier, but a little more setup with a tent, it can be just as comfortable.